stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regular, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Welcome in here, ladies and gentlemen, tonight on the Turn 3 Racing Network. It's the Ontario Legends eSeries here tonight, presented by the KOD Disposal. It is Muth up here in the booth with KR Stolfus right here next door to me. KR, qualifying has already begun here at a very, very tricky track that we're at tonight.
These drivers have been on the ovals. Tonight is their first time experiencing turning left and right, and I'll tell you what, this Legends car, watching these guys in practice, does look a little bit evil going into the corners. I've been seeing a lot of drivers catching themselves sideways heading in.
Yeah, if my count was right, it's 31 drivers here that will take battle on this little under a mile. It's almost 0.8 of a mile track here at Charlotte. A lot of times that these, you think about Charlotte Motor Speedway, you think about the 1.5 mile oval, or you think about the roval that NASCAR does. Well, it's completely different. KR, I logged into the server. I had never knew there was even a Legends road course here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway.
Yeah, this is a first for me as well, so trying to figure out what I'm going to name these corners. I think I just got, that's a left-hander, and that's kind of a right-hander.
I mean, that's pretty much what we're going to go with here tonight. Qualifying is underway, race fans. As you see, there is that 67 of Adam Thorndike. He right now is sitting in the third position. No surprise at the top of our leaderboard here tonight. It is Blake Neer in the number 22 machine. Neer has a win and a handful of other top 5 finishes here on a Wednesday night with the Ontario Legends eSeries driver. Dawson Dremy is second right now. We just saw Thorndike out there on track sitting in that third position. Back in action here in that number 19. He is sitting 16th after his one lap. If these guys go off track, though, here on their qualifying time lap, that timed lap will be disallowed. As you see Willie there really getting close to the grass. If that nets an X here in iRacing, his lap will not count. So a lot of these guys really have to, I guess be protective.
Yeah, you have to drive with a precision in your qualifying, especially on a road course. You can get caught out trying to carry your speed out of a corner and just clip the grass just a little bit, not even upset the car, but it is enough to register an iRacing off-track incident, and it will invalidate your entire lap.
Right now, only driver out there on track, it is this Tony the Tiger looking. I guess maybe we'll call it Tony the Tiger, or maybe we'll call it Tiger King of Michael Jetliff. He is out here in his 77 machine. He is the only driver right now that has not turned in a lap time. The 30th place driver would be Brant Graham. And KR, like you always like to point out, Brent is our race control here tonight.
I do like to point them out. Those guys work pretty hard, and they got a very thankless job. They take a lot of heat sometimes for calls that they made, but you know, they're a necessary part of any league in a broadcast.
So right now we continue to watch Blake Neer out here as there's 15 seconds left on our clock, so no other driver will get a qualifying time in, so it's going to be Parker Traves stealing the top spot here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway Legends Road Course here tonight.
Qualifying done and over with, and we're going to have heat races that are 6 minutes long or 100 laps.
Yeah, iRacing
whichever
right now,
one comes first.
Yeah, iRacing is guesstimating about, call it 9 laps these drivers are going to be able to do in that time frame. So we will see how many drivers will be able to, how many laps we'll be able to get tonight by these drivers. Well, let's take you through your first lineup here tonight. Tonight's lineup is brought to us once again by Caldwell Banker, Jennifer Hatch, our real estate agent. Here is your official qualifying grid here for heat race number 1. Starting on the pole, it'll be the 60 of Parker Traves, Ronald Henry starting the 75 machine there right alongside it. Row number 2, it'll be the 66 of Dawson Dremy and Wally Wilson in his 69 machine. Row number 3, it'll be the 76 of Andrew Packer and Paul Pirik in the 33. Row 4 here for your Caldwell Banker starting lineup, it'll be the number 91 of Caleb Dremy and Old Woodensides, the 38 of Brandon Feeney. Starting on row number 5 here and rounding out our field, because it looks like our 11th competitor that did join is not going to take the grid here, so it'll be the 99 of Adam Tayo, and Michael Jetliff in the 77 machine. That is your starting lineup tonight here for heat race number 1, brought to us by Jennifer Hatch.
One of the things these drivers were talking about was turn 1 on the initial starts here for the races that are coming your way. The heat races are 2 features to set up the main event here tonight. So everyone a little bit on edge about turn 1 here side by side.
Yeah, turn 1. It doesn't matter if we're at an oval or a road course. It always seems to play havoc for a lot of these boys, and not just these Legends drivers. We're talking about even the NASCAR drivers. We have seen them, week in and week out here on the iRacing service think that this virtual racing is extremely easy, but it looks like we're ready to go green flag racing here in just a moment. As the pace truck is off, we are going to see where we pick up for the first time here tonight. Everybody down the front straightaway here on this Legends road course. Stacked up 2x2 here. Green flag is waving, Kara, down into that first corner here. Put 9 guesstimated laps or 6 minutes on the board here for your heat race number 1. And it looks like Parker Traves is out front here, and he will kind of separate himself a little bit. Everybody is already single filed out, as they know it's really hard here tonight at this road course to go 2x2. Your first battle would be back here with Andrew Packer in that 5th position.
The battle for 5th place right now is going to go to the 76 of Andrew Packer, but he's going to get spun along with the 33 of Paul Pierre. They are going to right that ship and get pointed in the right direction. No cautions here tonight, as it is a road course, so that is going to cost those 2 drivers a whole lot of time in this heat race.
And then Wally Wilson's going to get into it with the 66 of Dawson Dremy. Both of them are going to lose a bunch of positions. This race here, which says feature 1, it is heat race number 1 here tonight. This will line us up for your C main event or B number 1, because we will take only 11 out of each main event into the feature event here tonight.
And now that this field has gotten strung out just a little bit, it's hard to find somebody running side by side, but I'll tell you what, we got one right here, right now, the 69 of Wally Wilson going through the grass, taking out some cones, trying to get around the 38 of Brandon Feeney.
Yeah, brand new paint scheme on that 38 is, oh, look at Tayo back there. He kind of blew through that corner there and a crossover by Jetlift. Going to move Jetlift back into that 7th position. Feeney, though, brand new colors, brand new paint scheme. We used to call them old wooden sides. He is now here with a brand new liquid moly paint scheme on this 38 machine. Contact between Wilson and Feeney, and they will go side by side up through these S's here. Somebody going to go around there. It looks like Paul Perique will go around in his 33. So these guys are having a little bit of handling issues, but out front it is all Traves in that number 60.
Now that's the second time that 33 is spun coming up off that corner. A little bit tricky for him. Hopefully he can get it figured out by the time he hits his qualifying main event.
Looking back here off Parker out front, he's got Ronald in the 75 machine all over him. Well, kind of as Ronald kind of slips back there, so now he'll fall to about a 1.5 seconds back. And we're about, call it halfway here into heat race number 1. Everybody is really single filed out. Wally Wilson back here is running in that 9th position. 8th right in front of him, that is Andrew Packer in the Turn 3 Racing Network. Sweet looking sticker on the back of that 2KR once again this week. Adam Teo running that 99, sitting in 7th. Michael Jetliff is up to the 6th position, and in your 5th spot is old Brandon Feeney.
I do want to point out our top 2 drivers in this heat race have already pulled out to a 8.5 second lead over the 66 of Dawson Drimmie, and they are continuing to pull away. So Parker and Ronald really have a solid grasp of how to wheel these Legends cars around this road course.
Yeah, and there was a moment there for Ronald as he was a little bit sideways in that 75 machine, but he was able to hold onto it and wheel back in this Legends car here tonight. So right now he runs with his number 7 or 75 on the timing and scoring. For all you race fans tuning in to figure out who is where on the timing and scoring, it's the number 75 of Henry. He is sitting there in that 2nd position. About, well, now it's only 1 second back, so it seems like sometimes Parker's a little faster in one area, and then next time by, Ronald is a little bit faster for himself.
Yeah, that is the fortunes of road course racing. All it takes is missing the entry on one corner, and you can give up a whole lot of time because it will slow you down for the whole next exchange of corners, especially when the straightaways are pretty short here.
Yeah, there's not really a lot of straightaways. Right now you see your number 60 on screen. He's right now coming through the portion that I would call the S's before we come back out onto kind of a front straightaway. There's not many straightaways. The only real straightaway here is that portion of the NASCAR Roval infield section. That's going to be about it as you see him weaving through a little kink there. Now he'll come back to the start-finish line with only 1 minute and 10 seconds left, so I believe the timing and scoring that says 2 laps to go, and that could possibly be very well correct with just 2 more laps here, or 1 more minute of racing.
That 60 machine wheeling left and right out here, gets up over onto the rumble strip, so to speak, but you know, it's a nice little rumble strip, not one that's going to launch the car up in the air, so these drivers using all the available track to them.
Yeah, right now you're watching Feeney in the 38 Liquid Moly machine, the 77 of Michael Jetliff, and Wally Wilson kind of all stacked in here. Right behind them is Perique. So we kind of call it, this is your closest 4-car battle on track currently. They run back here, you know, the 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th position between these 4 drivers. They are currently sitting 25.5 seconds behind Parker Traves, who is right there. As you see, the 33 of Perique just went around. He will try and get her pointed in the right direction. But I believe, KR, it says this is going to be the last lap here for heat race number 1.
final time around, but the 76 of Andrew Packer has pulled onto pit road, and it looks like maybe his heat race is done. He had enough fun out there for one heat race.
Yeah, he's got some damage on that 76 Turn 3 Racing Network machine, so now he will finish 10th here in our heat race.
So I hope the race is over because the 60 of Parker has just gone around.
I was just going to say, I just noticed that it actually is going to score Ronald as our leader here. And I don't think they made it back to the start-finish line just yet. So this is the last lap right here, actually, KR. So right now, Henry has taken over that lead.
So the 7 machine out in front. But it does look like everyone is calling it. So, yeah, maybe.
Looks like it's going to be Henry, Traves, Dremy, Wilson, Feeney, your top 5 drivers for heat race number 1. That's how they will go back to the old pit area, and they will see what kind of adjustments they can make here before heat race number 2 takes off.
Drivers are starting to grid up for heat race number 2, and you're starting a lineup for this one. Row number 1, the 22 machine, piloted by Blake Neer, and on his outside will be the 8 of Connor James. Row number 2 is going to be the 15 of Nick Ledson and the 06 of Brian Neff. Row 3 will be the 83 of Andrew Massey and the 57 of Jamie MacArthur. Row number 4 is going to be the 00 of Joe Adams and the 14 of Cole Ledson. Row 5, the 23 of Cody Wilds and Brad Laval in the 6 machine on his outside for this start to heat race number 2.
Yeah, that was your Caldwell Banker starting lineup here tonight, presented by Jennifer Hatch. So we got to thank Jennifer and all she does here with the Ontario Legends E-Series. Tonight, heat race number 2 coming at you right here in just a moment as they pace through this little under an 8/10 of a mile road course inside the Charlotte Motor Speedway Oval in Concord, in Charlotte, North Carolina. Actually, almost over there in Concord. Not quite.
Chevy Silverado out in front of this field. No cautions in these heat races. As we mentioned, we saw a couple drivers going around in that first heat race and how it cost a ton of time to do that. Mistakes stack up severely here on road courses, so you have got to run a mistake-free race from start to finish.
Well, there's no mistake right now because they are going green flag racing here in heat race number 2, and it looks like a pretty good start throughout. Blake Neer is going to get out in front of the 8 of Connor James, and I believe that's Ledson right there. Behind them, there was a little bit of a battle for a moment as Brian Neff was battling there for that 4th position, but they have already single-filed out just like that. They know it's a battle of nutrition here in your heat race. This isn't going to guarantee you a starting spot in the main event coming up a little bit later on. This is pretty much feel it out and get ready to go through one of our consolation, or it's not even really a consolation. It is a main event, as it's going to be labeled as the C main and the B main. Will lock yourself into the A main here tonight. 1 lap in the books, just like that.
Blake Neer out in front to a half-second lead over the 8 machine of Connor James. Connor not letting him get too far away. He's following closely in his tire tracks. And you can see right there that good little transition from right-hander to left-hander. Neer able to navigate that just fine. Clipping the apex of these corners here. That's very important on a road course. Get down to the apex, get it back to the throttle, and then carry your speed up out of the corner.
Right now, your closest battle here on track currently is between Andrew Massey and that 83 machine, and another one of his competitors, Brian Neff. And he, right now, has that 4th position. Neff is sitting there in the 5th spot. Neff, the only driver out of the United States. Every other driver here in this field tonight hailing out of Canada.
So you could say this was a home road course race for him?
I guess you could say this is a home road course race. It would take him about 10 hours from Ohio to reach this track here in North Carolina. So, I mean, I guess it's not too far.
No, that's not too far.
KR, I did learn a little interesting fact. A lot of these drivers actually follow the Legends series that runs out in western Pennsylvania. So a lot of these guys actually very familiar with a lot of the tracks in the United States. You know, a little bit of interesting fact I learned while talking to Brandon Massey and Willie Howes.
Well, that is interesting to see the international impact that Legends cars can have.
And that's not just Legends. They have a couple of them that have traveled here into the United States to race RC micro cars. I mean, that's a very expensive hobby in itself.
Well, the 4th and 3rd place battle is now going to be won by the 06 of Brian Neff as he slides into 3rd place, worked his way around the 15 machine of Nick Ledson. If I was a betting man, I'd almost say that 15 machine dropped down to the inside on one of the straightaways and let that 06 on by, not trying to hold him up any longer.
So right now it's Blake Neer out front, halfway home in heat race number 2. Then it's Connor James, Brian Neff, Nick Ledson, and Andrew Massey. Currently round out your top 5 drivers, and you have 3rd, 4th, and 5th right here under that blanket that we'd like to talk about.
10 drivers started this heat race. All 10 drivers still out there, but Brad Laval in 10th place, finding himself 26 seconds off the lead. This 6th machine being very cautious out there and, you know, turning some good laps and just making sure that he's learning this racing surface.
Yeah, I mean, there was an hour and 15 minutes of practice, and a lot of these drivers tuned in early. As you see Brad up on the grass, he says at this point you might as well just go out there and rip it. Of course, then KR, he's driving your favorite sponsored car tonight.
Oh, well, yeah. Maybe it's still a better looking one than that other car that you like.
Are you talking about the one that has my face on it?
Oh, contact. The 00 going to go around along with the 14. Cole Ledson, Joe Adams get together in a corner. The 14 of Ledson going to get straightened out first. Here comes the 00 Joe Adams as he gets rolling as well, but that is going to allow the 23 of Cody Wilds to get by both of them and move up into 7th place.
Yeah, so Joe Adams making his first appearance here with the Ontario Legends eSeries tonight, and it's one of those tracks that a lot of drivers would probably cringe and say, yeah, I don't know if I'm going to make my first start at a road course, but Joe Adams said, hey, I would take it on. Right now, though, after he made contact with Cole Ledson, they find themselves running now in the 8th and 9th position, respectively, out there on track. Blake Neer, though, has opened up himself a 3.2-second gap, and he is coming hot and heavy onto the back of that 10th place machine, which would be Brad Laval.
The battle for 4th place right now. 4th going to the 83 of Andrew Massey, but the 15 of Nick Ledson is really starting to work over that 83 machine as the timer is kicked down here on this heat race. So not much time left. That 15, if he's going to make a move, going to have to send it in deep into one of these corners.
Yeah, Brad going to go a little bit high there in turn number 1. I think he actually kind of scraped the wall a little bit in his Miller Lite number 6 machine. As it says, we are working possibly our final lap here of heat race number 2, just like that. Right now, Blake Neer, Connor James, Brian Neff, Andrew Massey, and Nick Ledson. Ledson has... You know, KR, it may have took me a little bit, but I just realized there's 2 Ledsons in this heat race.
That's okay, Roger. You can keep up with us at your own pace.
Well, Nick Ledson will be running 5th. Cole is running in that 7th position. Jamie MacArthur, though, runs sandwiched in between them. As it looks like heat race number 1 gonna finish here, and it looks like Blake Neer will be your winner. So it's Blake Neer, Connor James, Brian Neff, Andrew Massey, Nick Ledson, your top 5 drivers here for heat race number 2. While we're in between heat races, we got to thank all of our sponsors that bring us the Ontario Legends eSeries here tonight. We got to thank Thorson's, Enclosed Vehicle Transportation out of Toronto. We got to thank McNichol Welding and Fabrication for all the fabricating they do, not just here on the iRacing platform on sim rigs, also at the tracks every weekend for the Ontario Legends. Caldwell Banker, Jennifer Hatch, your official one-to-go sponsor, and your heat race lineups. And of course, KOD Disposal being your premier and headliner here with the Ontario Legends Series. But now it's time to get ready for, I believe, KR, correct me if I'm wrong, this should be our last heat race here of the evening.
It is going to be our last heat race of the evening, so drivers setting themselves up for their respective qualifying main events. A good run here can go a long way in those main events.
So starting on the Caldwell Banker, front row here will be Josh Concours. Right alongside him, it will be the number 67 of Adam Thorndike. Row number 2, it'll be Ross Sortino in the number 20 machine, and then it's Willie Howes in the aggressive number 19. Row number 3, it'll be the 87 driver of Nicholas Port and Jaden Chapman in the number 13 machine. Row number 4, it'll be the man looking for power. It is Dale Power in his 61 tonight. Kenneth McNichol there in the 17, the McNichol Welding and Fabrication machine. He starts on row number 4. Row 5 here tonight, and rounding out our final row in our heat races, it is the 71 of Jennifer Hatch. Brent Graham back there doing the live race control, keeping all these drivers in line and moving. Hats off to him. He will be listed as our 10th place driver, but will not take to the grid.
Chevy Silverado outpacing this field right now, but it's going to get out of the way. The 54 of Josh Concours has had an amazing qualifying lap, put him on a pole for this start. And I was watching him in practice. He was very smooth, very steady out there. Be watching him to pull away here as quickly as possible.
I'm going to watch for that number 19 of Willie Howes here in heat race number 3. Watch for that purple number 19 as the iRacing Silverado pace truck does pull off the racing surface. We will go green flag here as they creep down what you will call a little bit of a front straightaway. Green flag officially in the air, and we are racing for our final heat race here of the night. Concours going to get himself one heck of a start, as everybody except for Willie Howes right now as they go behind that big Jumbotron. One of them look like, is that the Dale Power machine? And I believe that's Jaden Chapman. Another one going to get wrapped up in here. And I believe that is Kenneth McNichol in the 17 machine. A couple of them piling up on this little bit of a straightaway here.
The 20 of Ross Sortino has turned himself into a lawnmower. He went out into the grass, realized it was short enough, and has now rejoined the race. But that 20 machine sitting in 7th place, lost a few spots with that little mix-up.
Well, it was nice of him to go out there and try and cut the grass here, but I think they have a full landscape crew here at Charlotte, and they do a wonderful job. Not saying Ross didn't help out a little bit, but he finds himself back on track and a little bit behind. He finds himself trying to go to the inside here on the 71, Jennifer Hatch, down into turn number 1. He will make that pass, and that puts him back into the 6th position currently. So after lap number 1, everybody has single filed out and kind of stretched themselves out here. It's Josh Concours, Adam Thorndike, Willie Howes, Nicholas Port, and Dale Power right now, as Sortino going to go for a little bit of a grass trip again. I think he found a high patch.
That is the same spot the 20 went off last lap. This time, though, he went off to his left. Previous lap, he went off to his right. So maybe the grass just isn't to his liking in the section of corners.
You absolutely are right, KR, but right now he finds himself down another position. Now Ross finds himself running in that 8th spot. See if he will be able to bring that grassroots racing number 20. Oh, he down the front straightaway here. A little bit of a block by the 13 of Jaden Chapman. Jennifer Hatch is stuck to the outside in the 71. As a little bit sideways there for Chapman out of that corner. And now they're going to go double file again. Now, can Ross come through this section cleanly for the first time here tonight?
Sortino gets into the corner and is chasing that rear end just a little bit. But this time he is able to power through, gets up and away. And this 20 machine has been fast. Even though he's gone off track a couple of times, he's able to get back around everyone who gets in front of him.
Yeah, so right back into that 6th position he goes. Leaves Chapman and Hatch behind. Running last here in this heat race is the number 17 McNichol fabrication, welding and fabrication machine here by Kenneth. Looks like he's missing a front left fender here tonight at Charlotte. If anybody finds that, if they could take that please back to his pit stall, he would like to reattach that before his main event coming up here after this. So right now Kenneth runs there in the 9th spot, still getting some very valuable laps here tonight.
Yeah, every lap you turn is a lap you learn something on a road course, even if it means that the walls are pretty hard.
Yeah, I found that out a couple weeks ago, Kara, when we raced. Yeah, they don't move.
They don't move.
Right now, it's Josh Concour, though. He is setting a blistering pace. He has the 2nd fastest lap. Or actually, no, he does have the fastest lap here, and it was last time by. It was a 41.220 lap for Josh. Let's see what this lap is going to be here at Charlotte tonight. What is... Oh, there's kind of... they almost made contact here. That could have been disastrous, but last time by for Josh Concour, it was a 41.230, so... 0.22 was as fast as 0.23 last time by, so he's very consistent out front here, and it is showing as him and Adam Thorndike have pulled away from the rest of the field.
Yeah, Thorndike has a 5.3 second lead over Willie Howells sitting in 3rd spot. Nicholas Port is 7.9 seconds in 4th place behind the 19 of Howells. So this field has gotten a little bit spread out. You see drivers who have taken to this road course racing quite naturally, and a few others who are still trying to figure out how in the world you turn right in a race car.
Yeah, it's something that is strange to me, too. You turn right to go right. Usually, you know, KR, you race dirt, and obviously from Pennsylvania, I'm a big dirt person, too. We turn right to go left.
Oh, yeah, you turn right to go left, but you're really not turning right. The wheel just kind of does what it wants when it goes to the right, so... yeah, I don't know.
Well, it looks like Nicholas Port has gone around in his 87 machine, and Dale Power, who's missing a couple fenders, got around him. Now here comes Nicholas Port once again. He'll take back over that 4th position. 3 more laps to go here. 1 minute and 10 seconds, so it's actually going to be 2 laps as soon as you see Josh Concour go around there. He will take the 2 to go signal here tonight at the Charlotte Motor Speedway Legends Road Course. And still, now, last time by, Josh actually set his fastest lap of the night. It was a 41 flat.
Yeah, that 54 machine getting faster out there, really laying down a quick lap, as you said, with that 41.0. And I really can't remember what the other heat races were turning, but that looks like a very impressive time here in this heat race.
As you see how tight this is as we go on board with Josh, he'll come back across the start-finish line right there. Down into turn 1 he is now on his final lap. This is kind of 1B there. Now, this is that straightaway we were talking about. This is the only true straightaway as it's down into a right-hand corner. You heard him downshift there. He's probably running about 2nd gear now, so it was 3rd gear through that part. A long left-hander back into a right-hander. Hairpin turn here to bring him back towards the front straightaway of this one.
Thorndike sitting 3.3 seconds behind in 2nd place, has a nice little bit of track all to himself, and it works his way on to that transition of the front stretch. And that looks to be a little bit of a tricky uphill than downhill area, maybe upsetting these cars here later on when everyone's bunched up. But this race is over, and Concour going to be your heat race number 3 winner.
Yeah, then it'd actually be Adam Thorndike, Willie Howells, Nicholas Port, Dale Powell will come across as our 5th driver here in heat race number 3. Well, while they start to clear the track here in heat race number 3, we got to thank everybody for tuning in here tonight on the Turn 3 Racing Network. We hope everybody is safe all around the world and healthy while this pandemic goes on all around the world. It's not just affecting, KR, who is in Missouri here in the United States, or myself, who is in Pennsylvania. It affects all of our friends from the Ontario Legends eSeries and all around the world. So we hope you are safe from the Turn 3 Racing Network. And coming up here, as it looks like they will take to the grid here for our C main. It's going to be 15 drivers looking to, is it 11 positions?
Well, if you give me just a minute, I can confirm that it is 11 spots available out of this heat race.
Well, as KR does look up that information for us real quick here, we once again, thank everybody. And if you enjoy what you see here, the Legends on a Wednesday night here on the Turn 3 Racing Network, go ahead, give it a little bit of a thumbs up. If it's your first time tuning in here on the Turn 3 Racing Network, go ahead, hit that subscription button, hit the little bell, get a notification anytime we go live, whether it's either myself here on the Turn 3 Racing Network, KR himself, what's coming up with a little bit later on, has his own broadcast, Chris Legou, Rick Hammond, or even sometimes we let Dave out of his cave, and he comes out to play with the boys too on the Turn 3 Racing Network.
Yeah, every time we let him out of his cave, we regret it. We should really learn our lesson.
We should, but Kara, how about that starting lineup here for your C main event?
Your C main lineup is going to look something like this out of row number 1, the 60 of Parker Travis and the 54 of Josh Conker. Row number 2, the 8 of Connor James and the 66 of Dawson Drimming. Row 3 will be the 19 of Willie Howells and the 83 of Andrew Massey. Row 4 will be the 38 of Brandon, we used to call him Wooden Sides, Feeney. The 61 of Dale Power going to be on his outside for row number 4. Row 5 will be the 57 of Jamie MacArthur and the 77 of Michael Jetliff. Row number 6 will be the 13 of Jaden Chapman and the 23 of Cody Wilds. Row number 7 will be the 99 of Adam Tayo and the 20 of Ross Sortino, but Sortino did not make it out to the grid, so we'll see how that factors in here tonight. And finally, last car in this starting lineup, the 6 of Brad Laval.
That's how your starting lineup here for your C main will go here tonight, presented by Jennifer Hatch and Caldwell Banker. Anybody looking for a house in the Ontario region, head on over to Caldwell Banker's website and look up Jennifer Hatch. Get in contact with her. Tell her that the Ontario Legends eSeries sent you her way. But it looks like the iRacing Pace Truck will go down and away. That means we're going racing. It looks like 13 drivers take to the grid as Willie Howells does not grid. So call it 13 drivers here, pacing to the green flag, and the green flag is waving here in your C main event. Parker is going to get another good start here over Josh, and for that second position, it's going to be Connor James and Josh Concour battling it out. They go single file as Josh takes it over James.
Everyone gets through turn 1 cleanly for the first time, where we have more than 10 cars on the track. We added 3 more, so far so good for this main event. Right now the 60 out in front, the 54 trying to close in on him, and now the 8 of Connor James could make it a 3-car battle for the race lead, but that 54 machine all over the back bumper of the 60 as he's going to make a move to the outside down through turn number 1.
Yeah, he goes to the outside with a little bit of bump drafting down that front short chute. Now to the outside, making a pass work possibly here. Parker going to go down, hit the rumble strips a little bit. Josh Concour going to go to the lead here on lap number 2. Parker tries to fight back. He tries to really drive it in there a little bit harder. Now this time he's going to go to the outside. Will he be able to make the outside lane work here tonight?
Josh Concour really set himself up good going to the outside of turn number 1 and then made it stick, which allowed him to be on the inside through that transition of corners and eventually ended up with the race lead as we go across the start-finish line once again. That 54 out in front. Parker sitting in second. Third going to Connor James, and Dawson Drimming in the fourth place with Andrew Massey hot on his heels.
Yeah, Massey just sitting there running in that 5th position. A little bit farther back, it's Jamie MacArthur in the 57 white, and I guess that's an aqua teal machine, looking to see if he can run down Tiger King himself, and Michael Jetliff, who runs the 77 in the 8th spot. They are close on track other than your front group, and it looks like Cody Wilde has actually had to take a tow back to pit road. Here comes Willie Howells. He has shown 2 laps down. It looks like network connection issues for the driver of the 19. is going to set him 2 laps behind. That means his night is looking pretty grim here tonight.
It is looking pretty grim, but there's a good chance that someone could drop out. So I appreciate the fact that a driver never gives up till the race is over. Willie trying to make something happen and get into this main event here tonight.
Yeah, but the main event isn't yet. It's the C main right now, and you are watching your top 5 all within 2 seconds of this lead. Look at Parker hound that rear bumper of Josh Concord, who right now has himself out front. It'll be about 14 more laps, 9 more minutes of racing here in your C main event to figure out who will go to the big dance in just a little bit.
The 54 and the 60 running very close to each other. Concord really made that good move to get into the race lead, but I think Parker learned a little bit of something when Josh blew past him. He is not letting that 54 get away, so Parker staying right there, looking like he would be in a position to take over the top spot if Concord makes a mess of a lap.
Yeah, and then Dawson Dremy would be back here in the 66. We saw him have some issues in his heat race. He had gone around a time or two and lost a body panel. It's good to see they Gorilla glued that one back on. He runs there in the 4th position. Andrew Massey has now started to drop back a little bit, maybe trying to push too hard here during this C main event. Has now fallen from 2 seconds back all the way to 3 seconds back as we drop it down on the left-hand side of the screen. Find where your favorite driver is here, as it looks like Willie Howells. It says he is out of the event, but he is actually back on track here. See if he gets a full time to lap in. It will shoot him back onto the board.
Cody Wilds in the 23 machine has rejoined the race. He is 2 laps down in 13th spot. Our final transfer position right now is going to the 38 of Brandon Feeney, who is out on the track with no one around him. He's looking just to ride this thing out right now, and if he can run this race mistake-free at a good, cautious pace, he might be able to make it into this main event.
Well, we'll find out in about 7 minutes if he's able to hold on to that, because there is one other driver behind him, Brad Laval, back here in that Miller Lite number 6, and it's actually looking a little bit more speedy this time here in our C main as he comes through corner, I guess we're going to call it 2. Right behind him would be Wilds, but Wilds right now in his Wilds printing machine is currently sitting 13th position, 2 laps down, as you see Brad just kind of pull over and let him go on by.
Yeah, smart move. Here on a road course, if someone really catches up to you, it's not necessarily as bad as an oval, but people will tend to give you a little bump here and there if they're a lot faster. Really could upset you going into a corner, shoot you off into the grass somewhere, and cost you a lot of time.
Well, we just saw Parker give a little bit of a bump there to Josh for the race lead. It'll be 6 minutes as they come through the start-finish line here. 6 minutes and 25 seconds, actually. Look at Josh really hanging out there with his JCR machine. It's a beautiful-looking paint scheme, but it looks like Parker's a little bit faster through that section there. See if he can reel back in Josh and put the bumper to him once again. You see both drivers taking different lines. Parker really hugging the curbs here at Charlotte tonight, seeing if he maybe he might be able to curb hop one of these things. Be interesting to see him go up on 2 wheels.
It would. We do have one out into the grass. That is the 19 of Willie Howells, and he is going to take the flatbed back to his pit stall. Brad Laval in the 6, also on the grass, coming to the start-finish line. He is really slow. Not sure if he was trying to get out of the way there or what, but man, he was climbing that wall as best he could.
Well, he climbed the wall, and right now, climbing up through the timing and scoring, running there in that 7th position is still Michael Jetliff, but this battle for the race lead still rages on. Another bump. Here comes now Parker down to the inside in his 60 machine. He laid the wood to the back bumper of the 54. Now he takes the lead. Will Josh repay the back bumper of Parker?
Good little bump when you're driving into the corner a little bit deeper than the car in front of you is not necessarily the kindest thing, but sometimes it is a great strategy. We'll call it the bump and run. I like the sound of that. I think I just made something up.
I love that sound as we ride on board with Josh. Look how close he gets to that Canadian Legends car. Sponsored entry here tonight by Parker. Splash and Go Graphics hooking him up with that perfect wrap that is a race replica of what Parker races up in Canada on a weekly basis. I think I saw Parker was also looking to see if anybody could help him find a... KR is going to take this in the complete wrong direction, race fans. Somebody that could straighten his rear end out. Had a little bit of a kink in it, a little twist.
I have no further comments, Your Honor.
He pleads the fifth as this battle still rages on. 4 minutes left. Here comes Josh down to the inside. Can he take back over the race lead? It's going to be a right-hander here, though. So, contact between your race leaders. Parker going to send Josh Concour out there sideways. He gets it gathered up real quick, but he will lose one position here with only about 3 minutes and 45 seconds left. He now finds himself sitting third, 3 seconds behind your race leader of Parker Trades.
Third place isn't terrible here as 11 drivers will make it into the main event, so he's still inside that transfer spot, but a little frustrating to have that happen. Might get a little bit heat under that collar. All you got to do is gather yourself back in and start hitting your marks once again.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see now as he gets around the 23 of Cody Wilds if Josh will be able to actually run back down Parker or Connor as they run 1 and 2 now. That time through the timing and scoring loop, he had already cut half a second off that race lead.
Looking through the field, the 77 hounding the 13, Michael Jetliff and Jaden Chapman going at it for 6th place here. And right now, Brandon Feeney still holding on to the final transfer spot, but he is closing in on the 99 of Adam Tayo.
So right now, as long as Feeney can hold that 11th position, he will find himself in here. Just another 2 minutes and 30 seconds for the driver of this 38 Liquid Moly machine. And it looks like he's been out into the grass and maybe touched a wall with his 38 machine. Right now, his closest competitor on the timing and scoring is right in front of him. It's the 99 of Adam Teo. As Adam's going to go wide here. He's sideways. Can he save the 99? He's gonna. Heck of a job there on the straightaway after touching the grass with that left side tires. The 99 was all out of shape, and that will put now Brandon Feeney into the 10th position. And look at Teo really start to push hard, because who's right behind him? It's none other than Parker Trades, your leader here, with just a minute and 52 left.
The 60 of Parker now trying to dive down to the inside to put Teo 1 lap down. Here comes the 8 of Connor James, the 54 of Concour right there as well. So our top 3 drivers squeezing by the 99. And Concour in that 54 all over the back bumper of Connor James. He wants 2nd place back. He's going to go side by side as they go into this combination of uphill right-hander, left-hander, and then right-hander.
Yeah, the trickiest part here of the track. He goes right around Connor James, and now look at it. Who's right in front of him? That is Parker. So with just a minute left, it is a 3-horse race here in your C main event. Your top 11 drivers out on the C main will head right to your A main here tonight. So let's see who will be able to, I guess, just get the win. Will Josh be able to get back around Parker after that contact they made in the final corner about 3 minutes to go? Or 3 minutes ago.
So our top 3 running nose to tail. The 54 taking a peek to the inside. Nothing there just yet. Now he's going to try at the outside lane, trying to go the long way around the 60, but the 8 of Connor James is going to fill that hole quickly. And now the 54 back down onto the inside as he closes back in on the 60.
Yeah, they're going to be coming up onto the last right-hand turn here. As they're sideways for Josh, it's going to check Connor up. That means it's going to go to the number 60 here of Parker Trades. He will win your C main event, or call it your B number 1. Josh Concour going to come across the line running in the 2nd position. As now it says actually fair. Now we're going to go final lap.
So the 60 of Parker going around one more time here. He has a 2-second lead over the 54 or the 8, depending on what corner they're in.
Now I think he's just showing off. A little bit sideways there, letting that left tire eat. Now he will come off that final corner. This will be the last time through this infield, very tight portion of the track. And across the start-finish line will come the number 60 of Parker Traves. Then it will be Josh Concourt, Connor James, and then Andrew Massey will come across running in that 4th position. Dawson Dremy will be 6th. Jaden Chapman is 6th. Michael Jetliff is 7th. Jamie MacArthur in 8th. Dale Power is 9th. Adam Tayo there 10th. And Brandon Feeney will transfer in as your last position into your main event tonight.
So that was only 12 laps? Good grief, what a show that was for 12 laps. Holy cow. I wasn't out there, but I'm short of breath.
Yeah, I'm pretty tired after that too. I imagine what some of these drivers feel like after that one. So now your B main number 2 heading our way, and this is how they will line up for this B main here tonight. Looks like 16 drivers going to take to the grid on this one. Starting on row number 1, it's going to be the driver of the number 22 of Blake Neer. Starting alongside him, it's going to be the 75 of Ronald Henry. And right behind him, it'll be the 67 of Adam Thorndike. Brian Neff will start there in row number 2 in his 06 machine. Row 3, it'll be Caleb Dremy in the 91, and then it'll be the driver of the 87 of Nicholas Port. Row 4, it'll be Nick Ledson in the 15 machine. Then it'll be the 69 of Wally Wilson. 5th row, it'll be Jennifer Hatch and Cole Ledson in the 14. Row number 6, Paul Perique in the 33, and Kenneth McNichol in the 17 machine. Row 7, it's Joe Adams in the 00, Adam Packer in the 76. Row 8 here, Brent Graham and Zachary Latimer are scheduled to roll off there on your final row here tonight in your B main.
Looking like Zach not making the call to the grid. We'll see if he can get out there and get turning some laps. Maybe have an outside chance at making it into the main event here tonight. But right now, that 22 machine of Blake Neer and the 7 of Ronald Henry on the front row for this start. The Chevy Silverado just in front of them. They're as anxious to get going as we are, as the pace truck down and away. Field stacked up nice and pretty side by side. A long wait, it seems, from the moment that pace truck peels off before we get to the throttle. And here we go, the 22 of Blake Neer gets a great start. Here comes the 67 machine of Adam Thorndike down to the inside of the 7.
Yeah, Thorndike trying to pounce here early on. One of them off into the grass. It looks like that'll be the 69 of Wally Wilson. He gets it back onto the track, but your front 2 single file out. Here comes a little hard entry into that corner. It'll be the 6 there of Neff trying to take over the 3rd spot. Crossover move by Adam Thorndike. They will go back single file here for that 3rd position. It'll be Thorndike, then Neff. Right behind them, it's Nicholas Port and Nick Ledson.
Wally Wilson in that 69 machine. You mentioned he got off into the grass. Looks like he's gathered it back in. He's sitting in the 7th place right now. The 33 of Paul Perique and the 14 of Cole Ledson battling it out for 8th place. Ooh, the 14's going to get a little bit loose there. Gathered it back in, but he's going to have to make up some lost ground as the 33 of Paul going to start to pull away. But now here comes the 14 of Cole Ledson with a good run through this double apex left-hander.
Yeah, as this battle is raging on for that 9th position, it looks like Andrew Packer was off into the grass last lap, and he's got some serious damage on the 76 Turn 3 Racing Network car. KR, he almost scratched my face.
I think it would have made it look better.
It looks like also some damage to the... Hey, I'm right here, dude.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought my mic was muted.
Oh, man. Here we go. McNichol, though, running there in the 13th position in the 17. He's also got some damages. He sails it way off into the corner. He's got to be careful now, KR. That first corner there is, I was just going to talk about it, and he did it. He's got to protect the left side of that car now, as he's going to build a little more camber into that front left. And now the left rear is also exposed on that 17. He is running in that 14th position. Somebody's going around. Is that Jennifer Hatch sitting backwards? She will back off the track and let everybody go on by, and now she will rejoin the racing surface.
Jennifer Hatch falling to 14th spot now. Last car out on the track, and has to make up a lot of ground to get back into this main event transfer spot. But Jennifer Hatch, well, still has quite a bit of time left to get it done.
And talking about getting it done, it's Blake Neer right now who is finding himself out front by 3 seconds even over these 3 cars. Adam Thorndike, Brian Neff, and Ronald Henry right now sitting 3.5 back to Thorndike there. So it just shows you how fast Blake Neer is. I mean, we take the man off an oval, and he is still absolutely one of the quickest cars on track.
Yeah, that 22 has a ton of wind stickers over the door frame of that driver's side, and it is not without reason. That 22 of Blake Neer really knows how to wheel one of these legend cars, whether it be left-handers or right-handers.
Yeah, and it's going to grow to 4 seconds now. Andrew Packer, though, he's going to have to tow the 76 back to pit road. I think, Kara, while we can, I think it's going to be time for our first replay here of the night to see what happened to Andrew Packer. He was running just outside behind Cole Letson. Here he is going down into turn number 1. What happened to the 76 machine? It looks like he gets through 1 and 2 pretty good, and then it's that dreaded rumble strip, and very, very hard impact into that wall, and he chose to tow that thing right away back onto pit road, but we stay. Obviously, green flag racing, and Blake Neer opens it up to 3.5.
Andrew Packer going straight behind the wall. His night is done, so an early exit for the 76. I would make a comment about the paint job, but I feel bad enough as it is for Andrew Packer bottoming out over that rumble strip and then just losing control of the car because of it.
Are you trying to say something?
Nope.
Back across the line, though, once again, your leaders go, and it's still Neer, then it's Neff, as actually it looks like Thorndike has been into the outside wall down in turn number 1 and 2. There is heavy left side damage. Both fenders are gone on the Thorson's transportation machine. So he runs now back in third. Ronald still all over the back of him. There's also a video right now on over if you're following the Ontario Legends series page on Facebook. Ronald Henry will kind of walk you through his shop and the setup that they have over there. Pretty interesting to see how these Legends cars are kind of put together and what goes behind the scenes of stuff, Gary. You yourself, running a 600 micro sprint here in the States, obviously you know that there's a lot of work that goes into it, but there's even a lot of work that goes into these Legends.
Oh, that there is. A micro sprint really doesn't have a whole lot of parts and pieces to it. These Legend cars, the way they're set up, the way that you have to change things, a little bit more intensive as far as the labor goes, but still would be a whole lot of fun to try and get behind the wheel of one.
So right now, Ronald is running in that 4th position, seeing if he can get around Thorndike. He has just not been able to do it just yet. There is still time on the clock, 6 minutes to be exact there, coming through this little infield portion. And I'm just scrolling through. As I made a comment earlier that was incorrect, KR. It was Zachary Latimer talking about the rear end in his Legends car that was a little twisted up. He was supposed to be scheduled to start shotgun to the field here in RB Main. He did not take the green flag. And actually, it's Matt Huff who I was talking about. It's just a exact paint scheme on the Ronald Henry car for Matt Huff.
Well, there you go. Story is straightened out now.
Well, I try.
Checking in on a battle in the middle of the pack, the 33 machine of Paul Parikh and the 69 of Wally Wilson running bumper to bumper here. The 33 currently holding on to 6th place, 7th with the 69 of Wally Wilson. He is all over that back bumper trying to find a little bit of space to stick his nose in and root that 33 out of 6th spot.
Yeah, right now both of them, though, will find themselves in if they can last just 5 more minutes. Right now, they are your closest battle on track. Actually, it looks like, oh, contact here. The 06 is going to make contact with the 17. Ooh, Paul Parikh going to just weave and miss that 06 of Brian Neff. Neff, heavy contact there. We will take that Turn 3 Racing replay back and see what happened to the driver of this 6. Let's go from over top. You see Kenneth McNichol out there just hit the grass. He spun it around and he tried to lock it down. Nowhere for Brian Neff to go. They made the contact, and unfortunately, Brian's going to pay the price as now he drops out of that top 5 and all the way back to 6th with heavy damage. And here comes Nicholas Port now trying to get around him. I think there's some engine damage done to Brian Neff's machine. He will actually go straight down pit road, so see if he's able to get his car fixed and back out on track with only just under that 4-minute marker here in our B main. Top 11 going to right now transfer in as Brian down pit road. He is running in that 11th position, but Jennifer Hatch is still out there. If Jennifer can come back around here 1 lap, she would lock herself in, and that would put Brian on the outside looking in. Kenneth McNichol has pulled his 17 McNichol Welding and Fabrication machine behind the wall for the night.
I was going to say drivers have 1 fast repair available, but the 06 of Brian Neff doesn't look like he used it, so I'm not sure if he's going to be able to get out there before Jennifer Hatch rolls around and takes over the final transfer spot as she now makes the pass on to Brian Neff. So 11 drivers still out on the track. Jennifer Hatch in the final transfer position, but Blake Neer out in front of all of this by a 7-second lead over Adam Thorndike.
How does one wheel a legend to a 7.3 second gap over Adam Thorndike? As Thorndike, well, maybe that just answered the question. He is sideways once again right in front of Henry. That is the battle for the 2nd and 3rd position. These two are really going at each other here for this 2nd spot. As right in front of them is Caleb Dremy. He just looped it around in his 91 machine. He will get it pointed back into the right direction as he is going to cause a little bit of a traffic jam behind him. Thorndike and Henry are going to go past him. Side-by-side contact between the lap car. Dremy going to make contact with Henry, and that's going to put him a little behind the 8 ball. Now he's going to have to catch back up to Thorndike in just 2 minutes.
Excellent driving skill by that 7. He was able to save it as he was sideways throughout that entire corner. But you mentioned, how do you get out in front that far? Well, all your mistakes stack up. Every mistake you make costs you a, let's say, even if it's a 1/10 of a second, and you're doing that every lap, you're going to end up 1 second behind in 10 laps. So you make multiple mistakes in a lap, you just get a little bit further behind.
As coming back out of the pits will be the driver of that 06. It looks like he finally was able to get all the quarter panels back on this 06 of Brian Neff machine. He is currently, though, 3 laps down, and just with counting down now at 1 minute and 30, I think it might be a little too late now for Brian and that whole 06 machine. How it was looking so good and just in the blink of an eye was taken away, and now he's just going to finish 1 spot behind, it looks.
Nicholas Port and Paul Parikh have just gone around in 6th and 7th spot. Both drivers get sorted and get rolling once again. They still stay within that transfer position, but they gave up a whole lot of time by looping around right there, and they have stacked up the field behind them a little bit. You're going to see 4 or 5 cars going at it right now.
Yeah, and your leader is also right there. You just saw Blake Neer go around Paul Parikh. Now he's going to look to the inside here on the infield portion on Nicholas Port. So that'll put actually just 5 drivers. And who's that 5th and final driver on the lead lap? That's going to be Wally Wilson in his number 69 brightly colored bumper bars, green, neon green and yellow, I guess you can really say. 30 seconds left here as Blake Neer will come through this infield portion yet. See if he can get back here before the time expires as he goes around Jennifer Hatch, who runs in that 11th spot. Looks like Blake Neer will get to the start-finish line before time expires, so there will be at least 2 more laps here.
Blake Neer in that 22 laying down some very quick laps. His best lap here in this main is a 40.915. So a very quick, in fact, I think that is one of the fastest lap times we've seen all night.
So Blake Neer continuing to set the dominating pace. He's going to come through the tightest section here of this Legends road course. And then he will set his sights upon the white flag here. As I guess that was the white flag. iRacing lied to us this time. Switched it around.
Yeah, it can be a little confusing trying to watch the time and get it all figured out. So I have yet to figure out when it is actually the last lap.
Yeah, so I couldn't tell you either. Right now it's Neer, though. Thorndike, Henry, Nick Ledson, Wally Wilson, Paul Perique, Nicholas Port will all transfer into your main event here. 2-minute warm-up, KR, and this is where we're going to have to say sayonara, our friend.
Yes, and as always, thank you very much for having me tag along out here, Roger. And, man, I'm looking forward to next week when I can stick around for the A-Main.
Well, thanks, KR, and all you do here at the Turn 3 Racing Network. KR's got to go get ready for his own broadcast here as we head to our feature event. Everybody has already started to take to the grid here for this main event. It's going to be 22 drivers to see who will be able to outlast who, and this is going to be your starting lineup here tonight, presented by Caldwell Banker, Jennifer Hatch. On the front row, it's going to be the 60 of Parker Traves, and the 22, you just saw him out there on track, it's going to be Blake Neer. Row number 2, the 54, Josh Concour, going to see if he can get a little redemption from his main event here. He'll start third. Fourth starting spot here tonight, it'll be the 67, your Thorson's enclosed vehicle and transportation machine. It'll be Adam Thorndike. Starting on row number 3, it'll be the 8 of Josh Concour and Ronald Henry in the 75. Row number 4, it'll be Andrew Massey in the 83 and Nick Ledson in the number 15. Row 5, it'll be Dawson Dremy in that 66. And right next to him, it'll be the 69 of Wally Wilson. Row number 6, it'll be Jaden Chapman in that 13. Paul Perique will start the 33 there also in that 12th position. 13th position on the 7th row tonight, it'll be the 77 of Michael Jetliff and the 87 of Nicholas Ford. 8th row in the 57 is Jamie MacArthur and Joe Adams in the 00. Row number 9, it'll be the 99 of Adam Tayo and Cole Letson in the 14. 10th row here tonight, the 61 of Dale Power and Caleb Dremy in the 91. Row number 11, Old Woodside's Brandon Feeney went for a flip in his race, but he qualified in, and then starting shotgun to the field. It'll be Jennifer Hatch in that 71 machine. But we are getting ready to go green flag racing here in our main event tonight. Brought to us by KOD Disposal. We got to thank them for everything they do for this Ontario Legends eSeries. Well, race fans, we hope you are ready to go racing, because it is going to be a timed race here once again. Notice on the timing and scoring, it might say 100 laps as the iRacing pace truck is off. Put 100 laps, or I believe it is 15 minutes for these drivers in your main event here tonight. Let's go feature racing here for the Ontario Legends eSeries tonight, presented by KOD Disposal. And it looks like an actual very good start by the entire field. Somebody contact the 99 of Adam Teo. Going to go around here. He's going to make contact with Brandon Feeney in turn number 2. It looks like Jennifer Hatch is going to get through there also. Right now, it's Parker Traves out front. The heat is on back here, though. It's like they are walking through the minefield. Blake Neer is third. Sitting there in fourth is Connor James. Adam Thorndike is sitting there, and Ronald Henry. Rounding out the top 6 drivers, Andrew Massey looks like he has dropped off the timing and scoring. We'll see if we can get a confirmation on what happened to Andrew Massey there in his 83 machine. He is falling through our timing and scoring. Something maybe has gone awry there for the driver of that 83. One driver did not take to the grid. The number 13 of Jaden Chapman was scheduled to start tonight in the 20th position, I believe. Timing and scoring updating here as everybody comes around this 0.8 of a mile road course here in Charlotte. Brandon Feeney, little damage on his liquid moly machine, little nose damage, shouldn't really affect the car. He is battling with Cole Letson for that 13th position. Feeney has the 13th spot. He will give up position number 13 and fall back into the 14th spot. But now here comes the 57 of Jamie MacArthur. MacArthur had a run there, but elected to go ahead and lift just a little bit. Nick Ledson now all over the back here of Dawson Dremy in the 66 machine, but it looks like he's going to slip, and they will have to go back single file here as they make the right-hand corner. Very, very smooth racing here for our feature event. You see it says about 20 laps going to be the distance here in the 15-minute scheduled laps for these drivers. Out front, it is still the 60 of Parker Traves. Right behind him is going to be Josh Concord. You see that 22 of Blake Neer. He had about a 7-second lead when he finished his qualifying race here tonight. He's right now runs in that 3rd position behind the 2 drivers that kind of ran away with your C main tonight, who wound up going 1 and 2, making contact, and then you saw Josh Concord kind of storm 3 seconds from behind Parker to get right back to him, unfortunately not able to get around him. Nick Letson and the Dawson Dremy machine both going at it still back here for that for the 10th position, actually, as Nick gets around Dawson. So that'll put Dawson into the 11th position now on our timing and scoring. Dale Power is 12th. Cole Letson is in the 14th position. No side-by-side battles through the whole field. Right now, if you want to see your closest car to somebody, it's right there. It's the Blake Neer machine close to Josh Concord. Our hot helmet camera here on the 22 of Neer. You hear him very steady, kind of on and off the gas here through turns 1 and 2. Gets a really good run on Josh, but just cannot get that car past him before they go into the next round of corners. He backs off, hit off that tail lid there of that 54. They all continue to run single file here tonight. Right now, the final driver out on track is the 99 of Adam Tayo. There in that Hooters 99, you can see he's gone around. That was lap number 1 right about there. He had gone around in the 99. He has not been able to make up much ground, because if you actually look behind him, right there is your leader of Parker. Only sitting currently, call it 4 seconds to Adam's bumper bar, I guess you want to call it, as he comes through this section. There you see your leaders. All 3 of them are nose to tail here. One of them going around. Nick Letson in the 15 has spun his Letson racing machine around. Somebody else going to go up onto, I believe, that's going to be the 57 of Jamie MacArthur. The 33 of Paul Perique is also involved in that. Let's dial up one of those Turn 3 racing replays as let's see what happened between those drivers. There you see MacArthur through turns 1 and 2. It's going to happen going into the next set of corners, into the next right-hander, I believe. There is Dale Power. There's the contact. There's Nick Letson down there. And there you see it, just kind of got the wheels together. Paul Perique, nowhere for him to go in the 33, and that kind of wads him up there. Oh, a tight little cross move there for the driver of that 54. They went around Adam Teo there. Looks like Andrew Massey is back out on track, though. Driver of this 83. Currently running in the 21st position for all you Andrew Massey fans. He is running 4 laps down. Fastest lap of the night for Andrew Massey was on lap number 2 when he laid down a 42.736. Your leader's best time here tonight was a 40.863, and that was laid down on lap number 3. So Parker laying down some quick time, but he is not the fastest driver out there on track. Last time by, it was Blake Neer in the 22 machine. He was the fastest of them all on the track. Ronald Henry has fallen to the 7th position. He was running 5th at one point. Now has fallen back to the 7th spot, and it looks like he has found a home just riding there for the last handful of laps. To be about 13 laps to go here tonight for the Ontario Legends eSeries, tonight presented by the KOD Disposal. We do welcome y'all in here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Go ahead and give your Ontario Legends eSeries a thumbs up. Let them know you appreciate them. Bring in something a little bit different here to the Turn 3 Racing Network as they bring you the Legends cars here from Charlotte. The Charlotte Legends road course on the inside here of the Charlotte Motor Speedway. So far, Parker has led all your laps here tonight, but he only has a half-second lead over that man right there. See the 54, Josh Concour back there as they go around. It looked like that was the 14 there of Cole Letson. They got around him, put him a lap down. Next in line to go a lap down would be Caleb Dremy in the 91 machine. Looking like 11 laps to go, or 7 minutes and 23 seconds on the time and scoring. We only have one driver that did not take to the grid. Everybody else is still out there on track. It's the 13 of Jade Chapman, as now Caleb Dremy going to go a lap down just in front of them. You saw it. It looks like a rolling roadblock contact between Paul and the 57 of Jamie. A little bit of a hip check there. Feeney is right there in the liquid moly 38. He is going to see if he can get around Paul, because that would be a battle for that 14th and 15th position. Feeney will take it. Paul Preek will lose a little bit of ground, and now your leaders will work upon him to see if they could work around that 33, who's currently running 15th. How much time does Parker try and play nice behind the 33 here, as it looks like he's going to go to the outside contact with your leader, and Paul Preek. Around goes the 60 of Parker. He finds the outside wall heavy on the straightaway. He has come to a rolling halt. Here, will he be able to get the 60 refired? There it goes. The tires are going to spin. He's going to lose about 6, 7, 8 seconds, though, to your race leader of Josh Concour now. Josh going to take the lead here. And now, with only 6 minutes and 15 seconds to go, will Parker be able to rally back with his Splash and Go graphics? Number 60 tonight. The Canadian Legend cars on that sponsorship deal also. It's 10.5 second gap now from Parker to Josh as your leader, as Jennifer Hatch going to go to the outside there. Lets Parker go right on by. Oh, your leader in trouble now too. Dale Power and your leader of Concour going to make that contact there. That deserves a Turn 3 Racing replay look. Looking back, seeing what happened here. And oh, it looks like Power got taken by the 57 of Jamie MacArthur, and then Josh nowhere to go. He makes contact, and then it looks like Blake Neer tried to also come through there, and he may have gotten a little piece of that action too. So with all that transpiring on track, and that allowed Parker, who, remember, was 10 seconds back. Now he's only running 9 seconds back, so he picked up a whole second on that transition there that happened. Somebody going around the 33, going to go around. Dremy in the 91, going to make contact with Parker. Now it's all about the survival rate. How long can you survive here tonight? Parker has gone around once, got tagged there now for the second time, Only 11 drivers left on our lead lap, and it's Nicholas Port running in that 11th position in the number 87. As you see, your leader's also working on that same straightaway there. Blake Neer has now pulled up to about, call it, 5 Legends cars. The gap from the first to the second position driver. 4 minutes and 20 seconds to get the job done here for Blake Neer. Will he be able to do it? Gets right to the back bumper. He's going to slide and go sideways in the 22. Quick hands for the driver of the 22 is what's going to save his car here tonight. Caleb Dremy had to take the tow back to pit road. That 91 machine is on the flatbed headed to pit road to see if he can use his quick repair here tonight. So he will fall all the way to at least the 20th position, 1 lap down. Letson here and the 77 of Michael Jetliff. They are battling for the 9th and 10th spot. A lot of damage to that 15. Their fenders are gone on the front of the Legend, and part of that radiator is gone. Still looking like it's carrying some speed there. A little bit faster down into turn 1 as Mike's going to leave the inside open with his Eye of the Tiger machine. Tony the Tiger, or we'll just call him Tiger King, I believe. So Tiger King out there riding that 77 in the 8th spot. This is your closest battle on track between everybody who is out there on the racetrack right now, as they are working around the 71 there of Jennifer Hatch. She is currently 1 lap down, running in the 18th position. There you saw Mike kind of slip up a little bit. Still not good enough. Oh, he's going to go hard into the wall. He's actually going to flip. Tony the Tiger says that is not great for the 77 of Michael Jetliff. We saw it happen, but let's focus right on to that 77. You see him up touch the wall. That right front tire just kind of digs in and up and over, sliding to a stop on his roof. Goes that 77 machine. Still the same 2 dancers out front here tonight. Just 2 minutes and 20 seconds left in this event. Will it be Josh Concour or Blake Neer? Or will something happen? And sitting about almost 6 seconds back, that man in the Thorson's Transportation 67 of Adam Thorndike. Connor James is running behind him, just about 1.5 seconds back in that 8th position. As it looks like I'm getting reports that the 60 of Parker Traves has officially gone dark here tonight. So what a night it could have been for Parker Traves. Now it looks like it might be a night that he will want to forget here from the Charlotte, North Carolina, Charlotte Motor Speedway. You're watching the battle for the race lead here. That's Blake Neer in his overtake 22. And you were watching off the back side here of your race leader of Josh Concour in his 54 machine. This time by, they will see most likely 2 laps to go here tonight. So right there, Blake Neer is right on the back of Josh Concour. Oh, contact between Concour and the 00 there of Joe Adams. Adams is going to spin. Concour is going to go wide. Here comes Blake Neer. He gets to the inside. Little contact there from Concour to the back bumper of Neer. But Neer is now going to be your race leader as they race upon the lap down car here of Jennifer Hatch. Jennifer going to go down to the inside. These 2 drivers going to storm by on the outside. Let's see if they get the 1 to go marker this time by, or will we still have at least 2 laps to go here. What will the timing and scoring tell us? Waiting to get the official word from the iRacing officials here tonight, as I believe this will be the final lap here at Charlotte. Here comes Josh Concour to the inside. He's going to blow the corner just a little bit, but will he be to the inside here on Neer? Neer's going to cross him back over. He's going to slam the door. Bump from Josh Concour. Another bump from Josh to the back bumper. Not going to be enough. Coming through the final section here tonight, the tightest portion of the track. Both drivers going to hang it out. Blake Neer is looking to see if he can win his second race. He will come across the start-finish line. He will win the second time. He will be the first back-to-back winner here on Wednesday night for your Ontario Legends E-Series. Second place will go to Josh Concour. Then Adam Thorndike will come across running in third. Then it's going to be the 8 as he finishes up. That is going to be Connor James. Waiting to see who's going to come across in that 5th position. It's going to be the driver of the 69 of Wally Wilson. 6th place here tonight going to be the 75 of Ronald Henry. Then it's going to be Dawson Dremy, Nick Letson in 8th, Nicholas Port in 9th, and Paul Parikh will round out your top 10. But it looks like this man will win once again here. What can you say about the man driving the 22? Wins his second time out this season. See if he's going to do some celebratory donuts here tonight. Comes upon the 66 there of Dawson Dremy, who finishes in that 8th spot. Rounding out the rest of your field here tonight as Blake Neer sits down here on the infield. Dale Power is 11th. Jamie MacArthur is 12th. 13th goes to Nicholas Port. Adam Teo is 14th. Cole Letson is 15th here tonight. 16th, Jennifer Hatch. 17th is Parker Traves, finishing 3 laps down. Joe Adams is 18th. Andrew Massey is sitting there. He will finish in the 19th position. Michael Jetliff is 20th. Caleb Dremy is 21st. And Jaden Chapman will round out the field here tonight. And as we will step away for just a quick moment here from Charlotte to see who we can get an interview with tonight, we'll be right back here with your post-race show presented by McNichol Welding and Fabrication. Well, welcome back here to your post-race show tonight, presented by McNichol Welding and Fabrication. We don't have Blake Neer, your winner here tonight, able to talk to us. It says he finished in the 2nd position. He is actually your winner here tonight from the Charlotte Motor Speedway Legends Road Course. But just taking a look to see who we do have, I believe we have our 2nd place official finisher, the 54 here of Josh Concour. Josh, another podium finish. It has to feel pretty good to know that you were one of the fastest cars here turning right tonight.
I mean, yeah, it feels pretty good to know that I was one of the fastest cars. Actually, I like to think I was the fastest car. You know, some unfortunate luck there with the lap cars getting in the way and unfortunately screwing over my race there at the finish. But you know, all in all, we had really good pace. Losing the car there at the end, just on the timed race there, car got a little away from us, but nothing you can do about that.
Yeah, nothing you can really do here on a road course. You're not really always battling, I'm going to say, the drivers out there so much as the time that it was. But you said the drivers, obviously, you know, playing a big factor in this one. It's difficult.
Yeah, definitely difficult. You bring a bunch of oval guys onto a road course, and it's obviously good learning curve, but very, very short learning curve, and everybody learns at different paces, and you could kind of see that tonight.
Well, it's a good thing you guys didn't let me out there, because it would have been not very well. Let's just put it that way. But hey, how do you feel about heading into the final race of this 6-week little stint here on a Wednesday? I believe we're going to head to the USA Speedway down in Florida.
Feeling pretty good. We've had strong pace throughout the series, coming off the back of a third place finish last week and a second place finish this week. Hopefully we can build on that and get one more spot and take the checker flag next week.
Well, before we let you go, since you're the only one in your top 3 that we're going to be able to grab a quick word in with here, we're going to roll you out the red carpet, my friend. We're going to hand you the microphone. Is there anybody that you got to thank for your second place finish here tonight at Charlotte?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Ventresca Saberis Racing VSR first off for supporting me. Secondly, I'd like to thank Lone Palm Design Custom Helmet Paint for all they do. And thirdly, I forgot to mention this last week, I'd like to thank Jamie MacArthur for telling me about the series and telling me to come run. I've had a load of fun the last 5 weeks and looking forward to next week.
Well, there you heard it from our second place finisher here tonight. It is Josh Concour in that 54 machine. Congratulations to him once again on the podium finish. Finishing third here tonight was the driver of the Thorson's Enclosed Vehicle Transportation 67 of Adam Thorndike. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like we have a communication with the driver of that 67, but congratulations to Adam for running a very smart and clean race here at Charlotte. But what we do have for your race fans is something a little bit special here tonight. We weren't able to grab any of our interviews with some of your top 3 podium finishers. Well, why don't we go out there and just grab one of the drivers that races here on a weekly basis and give him a little bit of airtime. In the booth here with me right now is Mr. B. Feeney of the 38. Brandon, a little bit disappointing. You didn't make, or actually you did make this main event. You finished 10th. What more could you have done out there to bring this liquid moly machine through the field?
To be honest, I'm kind of surprised I even got 10th. Road courses aren't my thing. I've never done one. I'm done maybe 3 or 4 online here before today. So I'm just happy to have made the field tonight.
Well, you heard us talking with Josh a little bit about these road courses. Tell us about your background in Legends racing.
So I just bought a Legend car to participate as a rookie in real life here up at the Ontario Legend Series. So not much experience. We actually run a rookie series on iRacing here on Monday nights. So I'm getting a lot of experience there. So learning a little few things here and there. But most of my racing is actually like late model or Thunder car at Peterborough Speedway.
So you have experience behind the wheel in real life. How much iRacing experience did you have before, I'm going to guess, this whole pandemic that's going on around the world?
I only got iRacing around December, maybe November, and with work and stuff, I get maybe 1 or 2 hours here and there to play. It's a big learning curve from a real car to the virtual car. So sitting here at the kitchen table trying to figure out how to make this thing turn without feeling the car is pretty hard.
I have to agree with you on that one. It is definitely a learning experience. We watch it every Sunday as the NASCAR guys here on the iRacing platform do get kind of adjusted to that since we can't go out, unfortunately, and race in the real world. Brandon, is there any talk about when you guys will be able to get back onto the real racetrack up there in Canada?
Unfortunately, it's looking at least June. Most of the races are canceled till the end of May. I'm working on 3 cars. I have a mini stock, my late model, and the Legend car. So I like to be busy. So here's hoping we get going soon so we can go back to having some fun.
Absolutely. We can't wait till all of us are able to go back to the racetrack. Brandon, before we let you go, kind of, I guess, maybe practice for USA. Who do you got to thank for parking this liquid moly car here in the 10th position tonight at Charlotte?
Obviously, I got to thank Liquid Moly Canada. They've been sponsoring me in real life here for about 4 years now. Great company. Auto Tire and Safeties and K1 Graphics. They make these cars look good and make my real life cars look good and perform well.
Well, there you heard it tonight from your 10th place finisher of Brandon Feeney. A brand new paint scheme here from Charlotte. Gonna get him a 10th place finish. You know, liquid moly on the side of that. Unfortunately, we are gonna deeply miss the old wooden side, but we can't really say that it's a bad thing for him to bring that sponsorship over here onto the iRacing platform. But that's going to about do it here from the Turn 3 Racing Network. For KR Stolfus and everybody else behind the scenes, I'm Roger Mute, and we will catch you at the next time the Ontario Legends eSeries hits the track here And that will be 1 week's time in our final race from the USA International Speedway down in Florida. We hope to see you next week, race fans, to watch the final Legends race of the season.